Bonsoir, fellow mini enthusiasts! Are you ready to find your childlike wonder again? Just take a look at these amazing new Cities of Sigmar minis. I know Adepticon was forever ago, but how am I supposed to stay focused when you give me minis that make my 8-year-old self run around while screaming in my brain? I keep finding new cool stuff I wanna add to the script. Excusez-moi, you're telling me I can literally bring whole moving castle to crush my enemies? Seriously? I am so hyped. Wait, what are these called again? Oh no, I am so going to mispronounce that. And I already know every single one of you goblins is going to call me out in the comment. Well, here we go anyway. So, Cogforts are the absolute pride of the Iron Well arsenal. We're talking walking fortresses of stone and steel powered by Umberstone engines, pinnacles of their battlefield ingenuity, living avatar of their defensive doctrine. Originally, they were made for garrison and rear line stuff. Then someone's brain turned on. What if we just charge our walking castle into the enemy? Turns out a trampling fortress with giant cannons is actually pretty good in melee. No, who would have guessed? Good job, Timmy! We even got two flavors for our chateau. Cannonade, big boy godbreaker cannon on top, and a ridiculous amount of other dakas, or Conqueror, which can carry troops and has a massive flame cannon. As you know, fire solves everything. The best part? No matter what faction you play, you want one, you get one. There's a regiment of renown that lets you take one anyway. Mercenaries, renegades, blah blah blah, whatever excuse you want. And I'm not even asking, does the mini tell the story here? You have eyes. It's a castle with legs. One of them breathes fire. Like, how am I not supposed to want one? This is just every kid's dream. When you describe this mini, you will sound like a child having a sugar crash. And it's a giant castle, and it walks, and it has big cannons or a flamethrower, and there's little guys inside, and they all do stuff, and there's even a drawbridge, and that's so cool. I would have loved to be in the design meeting. Every artist throwing the coolest idea they had, and the art director just going yes, yes to everything. And somehow, Gobelin Gang, it still works. The silhouette is perfect. Just look at that. The mechanism makes just enough sense. Almost steampunk, but not quite. And the level of detail is insane. Holy Sigmar. Stone, wood, metal, ropes, all packed with a ridiculous amount of sculpted elements. Plus the tiny crew just doing their thing, come on. It's not just a war machine, it's a living environment. Painting this will take forever, but it's going to be so worth it. Let's keep the childlike energy way up, because next we have the gay Gargants. How about giants walking next to your moving castle holding fortress door? Like that's just another Tuesday. Their role is simple: attract as much attention as possible, then smash entire regiment with their doors, Brom style.
Stand behind Brom!
It allows other troops to charge in safer conditions. Each gay Gargant is joined by a Grenadier Major. They are supposed to ensure discipline, but I have no idea how they are supposed to do that. I'm sure it's all treats and positive reinforcement, and no violence is ever involved, right? The Grenadiers sit in this very shaky watchtower, equipped with scattershot cannon that can pulverize entire enemy units, which our Gargant friends love to watch. So, does the mini tell the story? Yeah, absolutely. The silhouette is so good you get the picture instantly. Big smashy giants, big door, tiny dude with guns on top. It's a bit goofy, I admit it, which means that one will spark debate. I personally love them. The skin details is amazing, they feel battle-worn, heavy, brutal. This is not their first rodeo, pun intended. Only thing? Give them shoes. Keep those Achilles heels secure. GW, please, we do not need another internet discussion about toes. You'd think they learn at one point. Also, yes, we are in a grimdark setting. They totally chained those Gargants to the ground to use them as living shields. So much for friendship. But my favorite details? The towers. Look at them! Who designed those? One word, bravo. I genuinely think they would work, like you could climb up there. I would never, because I'm scared of heights, and I love my cozy cave. But look at these handles, the rope, the pulleys, the freaking cushions, so the Gargant is still comfy. I love it. Oh, I'm also currently making my own 3D design for my Cities of Sigmar army, but with Grand Katea aesthetic. How cool would these two look with custom doors, with a yin-yang motif? Dragons, maybe? Ooh, I cannot wait. We've teased the little guys on top of these giant minis already, so let's take a better look at our new battle lines for the Cities of Sigmar, starting with the Freeguild Gallants. You usually find Chevalier on, well, horses. That's where the name comes from. But these, they prefer to band together as one hell of a defensive infantry unit. And, as their name suggests, they show gallantry and uncommon fervor against impossible odds, inspiring the other troops. Their masterful blade work and steely grit will make sure to remind their opponents that charging them was a very bad idea. So, does the mini tell the story? Oh yeah, I mean look at them, full-on paladin valeureux. Have you seen their amazing silhouettes? Look at those armors, they have no business being this cool. And they fit perfectly with the Cities of Sigmar aesthetic. Plate, cloth, chainmail, ironwork. Painters are eating good here. Any of these could be named and have its own lore. Also, the Gallant gain like 100 points because I love Gargolians. They are so cute, and this banner guy even looks like his pet. Perfect goofy match, 10 out of 10 miniatures. If the Gallants are here to take the charge head-on, who then leads it? The Freeguild Grenadiers are made for this. Why? Because they are thick. They are equipped with the finest gear to make sure the enemy frontline has a very bad time. Their arsenal? Powerful black powder cannon colored ruin sweepers that they can brace on their heavy bardiche. And then, one of them is equipped with a medieval flamethrower. They call him the lucky one, the Cindergout. Lucky, We'll get back to him. So, does the mini tell the story? Absolutely, the design team was on fire with these. Pun unintended, but I shall own it. Just like the Gallants, these look like a Warcry band. They are so full of personality, each one feels unique. That armor variety, I'm pretty sure I could name each one of these without ever mixing them up. Look at those silhouettes. They are heavy, grounded. The bracing pose is so cool. And the variety in the body shape, she can kill me with Sue's style, no doubt. And I love her for it. Also look at the Cindergout. He can take a beating. Alright, the lucky part. Well, I'm pretty sure that's irony. Because if the gas tank is breached, it just explodes. They probably choose who gets the role by drawing straws or something. But come on, don't they know? Fire solves everything. What if you are out of fire? Well, then use magic. Just ask Erasmus Zonn, the Enlightened one. And holy Sigmar, I cannot believe I didn't notice this sooner. Erasmus, like the European Student Exchange Program, named after a scholar who traveled the world and shared knowledge. And now we have a human mage, learning from the Luminate. That is such a good pun. I love it when a franchise makes me feel clever and cultured. Merci beaucoup. His lore is amazing. Monsieur Erasmus, yes, respect my guy. He's got brains, he's dynamic, he's motivated. He became one of the youngest archmages in the history of the White College. And Zonn is not just doing this for fun either. He's trying to push human influence in a realm dominated by elves. And yeah, he's not afraid to play a little dirty to get there. I like me a determined and slightly shady character. Erasmus is a total nerd about the Maelstrom. I mean, he's human, right? When these Isle of Ish boomers told him, do not go to the realm's edge. No. Yeah, he went anyway. Don't tell him what to do. Now I need to explain how much I vibe with Zonn. Because if little me ever get teleported in Age of Sigmar, and I don't die immediately, my last words are 100% pss, 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 pss. And then I get mauled. I am the biggest animal nerd ever. My favorites? Dinosaurs! Yes, I am cooked. But this absolute legend, he took one look at Tekli's weird things and thought, nah, I can do better. He walked into the most dangerous places, so whatever this thing is, and wait, I'm petting the weird dog. Then he probably threw a Pokeball or something. What do you want to name your new Pokemon? Glyphwings. If you could not tell, I love Erasmus Zonn. Who wrote his lore and can we be friends? Wait, What was I doing again? Oh! Does the mini tell the story? Know that it's a lot of lore to fit into one miniature, but damn they cooked. Can we talk about glyph wings? This is one of the most interesting creature designs I've seen in years. I'm sold just on this thing. Goat, bird and snake chimera, 3 heads to pat, and 2 wings, super clean sculpt, damn a painter's dream. Erasmus himself looks mighty fine, a bit regal even. Long beard, fancy clothes, his pose is calm and in control, barely holding Sue's reins, not struggling at all with that giant staff. And that hat, very interesting, a bit silly maybe, but I like it. This oil lamp inspired design certainly adds a lot of personality, especially the ghostly-ish icon, very mysterious. My only complaint is the huge lantern on the back. I don't really know what it's doing there. It reminds me of the scenery calligrapher, but Zonn staff already fills that role. If you know why it's there besides giving an amazing opportunity for OSL, please educate me. Overall, this is a centerpiece, a true golden demon contender, and it will look amazing on any tabletop. I demand more lore about him. Give me a book, please and thank you. And the heat is not going down. Can someone call Darkest Dungeon? They lost one of their characters. Magic is quite important in the Cities of Sigmar battle plan, obviously. The demand is skyrocketing, so the colleges are pumping them out as fast as they can. So what do they fill the shelf with? Let's start with the Aqshian Pyrocaster. They are amongst the boldest and most aggressive war wizards, who would have thought. Their gaze is so hot that just looking at them can set you on fire, meaning they wear these amazing looking hats to cover their eyes. So does the mini tell the story? Heck yeah! This dude is totally aura farming. I'm all for the no cape look, but this guy, he pulls it off. I mean, the silhouette is still amazing, so he gets a pass. If you're good at painting cloth, this is the perfect mini to flex. The fire effect is right at his feet. He does not care. I mean, his glove is half melted on his hand, so he can probably take the heat. Also, I love this tiny scepter or wand. It makes him feel more mobile than a giant staff. And the OSL potential? Insane. I can't wait to see what the community does with him. But I saved the best part for last, because that hat though! That thing looks like a torture device. I wish I could see the back. Are Sue's keys decorative, or do you actually need both of them to open this nightmare? Because if I had something like that squeezing my head, I'd be aggressive too. If you thought playing with fire is a bad life choice, let me introduce you to worse. Meet our second mage option from this release, the Amethyst Knellmages. These wizards are usually shunned. Some say it's the necromantic thing or their somber aura. I have another theory. Would you stay next to someone who needs constant rigging noise to not go completely insane? No? That's what I thought. But anyway, does the mini tell the story? Ah, Gobelin Gang, this mini could have been perfect, because look at their face! This is the first time I actually want the open head helmet version. It's amazing! I totally get them. I am spilling anything you want to hear if you just show me that torture device. Constant metallic banging noise? Absolutely not, no matter how cute the mechanism looks. And yet, for them, silence means complete madness. Peak horror in my book. But that's where I start having a problem. Don't get me wrong, I really like the top part. The head is fantastic, the sight is great, the clothes and the cape are fine, even the candle with its cartoony look still works. My main beef is with the pose. You're telling me that with that constant hammering in their ears, this mage can stand that straight, that controlled? The face shows pure horror, yet the body shows none. And that mismatch? That's sad. It makes the silhouette miss part of the story. I see the cool hat, but I don't feel the instability or the near madness. Another small complaint, the skull on the belt and the trinket next to it are too similar in both design and size. After all the masterclasses we just got, yeah, I got greedy. GW showed they have the potential. This is not a bad mini, not at all, but with just a few tweaks, it could have been on the same level as the others. Just in case our local Knellmage decide to join the dark side, we can leave the exorcism to the Mallus Forgepriest. They are experts at channeling their faith in Sigmar, which lets them purify the battlefield and power allies, push back chaos. Also, they have a Warhammer, I appreciate the irony. And do I even need to ask the question? I should make it a jingle at this point. You are telling me that this absolute legend is unnamed? His silhouette screams Zealot. Another aura farmer right there. Why would you attach a rune on your forehead like that? That looks so uncomfortable. Ugh, just imagine the rope sanding my skin like that is oof. And I mean that in the best way, that's devotion. We've had so many cool hats since the beginning, and this one is up there, wow! This prayer scroll going right through that amazing wood and gold contraption, that is so unique! He is so ornate too, amazing armor, great material variety. Did you notice the bedroll? That's telling a story. This guy is not staying in one place, he's wandering around spreading faith, probably from battlefield to battlefield. Because that chest on his back, that gets me so curious. What's inside? Relics? Offering? I'd personally bet on coin malus from the fallen soldiers. Because guess where you also find these? On the Donner's Triumph, and in quantity. Battles are tough for the steel helms and fusiliers, who have to hold the lines against literal abominations. So, how do you keep morale up? How about dragging around giant floating memorials dedicated to the unnamed warriors who fought and died in Sigmar's name? And somehow it works. The Sacred Donner's Triumph is inspiring enough to embolden even the most exhausted soldiers. It's a bit on the nose now, so let's skip the question. Yes, the mini tells this dark story. You've got all the classic Zealot signs. Way too many candles, a very cool faceless idol on top, classic Sigmarite engravings, way too many coin malus, and of course the grim symbolism of chains and skulls. Very much in line with that classic idea only in death does duty ends that we usually hear in 40k. And just in case, a quick reminder. The coin malus is a simple hexagonal piece of metal, it has no real value and no magical properties. The power is in the symbol. To take the coin malus is to pledge yourself to join the next Dawnbringer crusade. So, seeing so many of them here, it means they act almost like dog tags. Neat, but also very grimdark, because whose soldiers are now inspired to just go die for Sigmar's cause. Damn, this is a beautiful, grim and poetic Terran piece. However, I do have a bone to pick with it. You're giving that thing giant handles, and yet nothing on the base is shown dragging it. You've got a whole crew having a barbecue and apéro on the Cogfort, and you can't give me a tiny Gargolian dragging this. I mean, sure, maybe it's the Gargants' job, but visually, nothing really links these minis together. Ah, that's a missed opportunity. And that is all for our new Cities of Sigmar. Huh? What do you mean I forgot one? Jorvan Kreel? Nah, that's a mini for Middle-earth. They just accidentally put the wrong logo during the Adepticon stream. I mean, have you heard their sound quality? It's just another little mishap. Oh no. That's... okay. The guys literally look like it from the City of Dale, an older version of Bard from The Hobbit. Oh, it didn't just escape Lord of the Rings. Well, alright, what's his deal then? The Heir of the Kraken is on a mission. This proud defender of the city of Anvilgard is looking for allies to retake his usurped home, even if Sigmar himself seems content to turn a blind eye. Ranger Colonel Jorvan Kreel is a deadly duelist and master of the wider corp's fluid combat styles. He maneuvers effortlessly through combat and always positions his men exactly where they need to be. Also, he has a cool Ash Panther pet named Texa. So, does this last mini tells the story? Is Jorvan Kreel someone's OC? Do you plan to make a book about him, GW? And I mean that in the best way possible. Everyone should be able to have fun with a legendary hero like that. And you can feel the main character energy here. Like, what in Sigmar's name is Wilder Corpse Fluid? That sounds like it's straight out of Demon Slayer or One Piece. But honestly, you already knew we meant business when you saw those amazing tactical rocks. Tactical roof? Is that a thing? The silhouette is properly heroic. The sculpt is very clean and consistent. He has a pretty unique face and haircut too. His clothes are packed with details, with tons of sculpted elements and different materials for painter to enjoy. The pet looks great too, showing off his little rat meal. A nice tease to the Skaven. I would have loved to see more Kraken motifs in this design, but that's a minor complaint. It's a very good mini. It definitely feels a bit different from the rest of the range, which is fine, don't get me wrong. That mini works perfectly as a solid classic hero, and you could totally use him in other settings too, like Middle-earth or even D&D. Holy Sigmar, bless this ravage voice. From castle with legs to Gargant with fortress doors, sprinkled with absolutely insane mages. Yeah, I'm not recovering from this anytime soon. I genuinely thought I would never reach the end of this one. Not complaining though, because damn, every new Cities of Sigmar mini is so cool. Bravo to the artist. If you somehow made it all the way to the end, you are amazing. Merci beaucoup. I'd love to hear your thought on the new Cities of Sigmars. Are you as hyped as I am? Or did I miss something heretical? Which one is your favorite? Oh, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like to support me sacrificing my vocal cords for the Gobelin Gang. Also, put 3 castles emojis in your comments so I know you're part of the secret end of the video club. Subscribe to join the Gobelin Gang and get more Warhammer video like this one, where we ask the question, does the mini tell the story? And as always, bonne chance with your hobby les amis!